And please, sir, please on your video also, sir, please, sir. And please inform 5 to 10 organizing committee members on videos during the whole session, sir, please.
I invite Mr. Harshavardhani from 3rd BCom CA to give a welcome speech.
Success is not the keyword to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. Very good morning to one and all present here. I am Harshavardhani from 3rd BCom CA. I am going to give the welcome speech for today's national webinar on financial empowerment through wealth creation. I would like to welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Suryakant Sharma, is the former DGM of CB, for taking time Keynote Speaker of this national webinar. We are eagerly waiting for your speech and to share your financial knowledge with the students and other participants. I heartily welcome you, sir. Initially, to invite our beloved HOD and convener of the webinar, Dr. P. Saravanan, who has been the pillar behind this event. Welcome you, sir. I like to invite our co-convener of the webinar, Dr. B. Srinivasan. Welcome you, sir. It is my pleasure welcome to our organizing secretary of the webinar, Mr. B. Bertie Roy, who has been the backbone of the webinar. Welcome you, sir. I would like to invite our organizing committee, Dr. D. Valarmadi and Mr. C. Dharma Devi ma'am. Welcome you, ma'am. I extend my hearty invite to all the students and from the various colleges and states. Welcome you all. Once again, welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Harshavardhani. Now, I would like to introduce a keynote speaker and the resource person of the national webinar. Suryakant Sharma is a commerce graduate and master in law with specialization in corporate laws. He also Chartered Association of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance, IIBF. Sri Sharma has over 35 years experience in banking and finance and securities market and has served in leading financial institutions. Thereafter in the Department of Financial Services, Minister of Finance, Government of India, and finally in SEBI. Sri Sharma joined the Security and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, in 2003 and served there more than 15 years as served in different departments of SEBI. Lastly, in addition to other assignments, he was DGM in charge of Office of Investor Awareness and Education in SEBI's Northern region for more than 5 years. Sri Sharma is also a member of working group of NCERT for developing vocational courses on mutual fund for students of 11th and 12th classes. Sri Sharma also a mentor of a few NGOs working for financial literacy and investor awareness in the country. Under his supervision, more than 15,000 financial literacies and investor awareness program IAPs were conducted across North India, and he himself has addressed as guest speaker in more than 600 investor awareness programs. After superannuation from Security and Exchange Board of India in 2019, he has joined Association of Mutual in India, AMFI, and Apex Body of Mutual Fund in India as Senior Consultant, North India. So, welcome you, sir.
Thank you, my dear Roy. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Am I audible to all of you? Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Is my voice clear to all of you?
Sir?
Is my voice clear to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's very clear, sir. Clear to all of you, sir. All of us, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the management of your college for giving me opportunity to interact with all of you. I'm thankful to your principal, HOD, and to you, Mr. Roy, for giving me opportunity to be with you. Of course, through this platform only, you will appreciate because of pandemic, I couldn't visit your college physically, but I would definitely like to be with you as well in future, very near future, when this pandemic goes. So I am very thankful to all of you. 2-3 things I wish to mention about the program before I start my session. This program, and Mr. Roy, can I take your name again and again during my session? I want it to be interactive. I want you, I think you are Mr. Bertie Roy. Am I right? Hello?
Sir?
Am I right? What is your name?
Sir, I couldn't get you, sir.
What is your name?
Yes, sir.
What is your name?
Sir, Bertie Roy, sir.
Oh, great. Thank you. So I would be taking your name again during the session. I want to interact through you to all the participants.
Yeah, sir. Okay, sir.
But it doesn't mean that I am talking to you only. I am talking to all the participants.
Sure, sir.
Thank you very much. This program is from Association of Mutual Fund in India, Amfi, which is an apex body of mutual fund in India. But my dear participants, I want to make it clear that this is not a marketing event or a promotional event of mutual funds. This thing should be made clear to all of you. This is purely an investor awareness program. And Mr. Roy, there are two categories of investors. One category is people like you who are already earning. You are already earning. And other category of investors, those who are not yet started earning but are going to be soon, maybe in 2-3 years. So I will try to address both the categories of participants here. And I feel that both the categories of participants are available in this session. Secondly, this program is for the participants. I will be very happy if young participants, particularly students, Mr. Roy, can have one paper or notebook or one pen with them, and they can note down anything they found, new idea or new information in my session, which they can further explore through Google and websites. You know now everything is available on Google and websites. So these programs are basically sensitizing programs, just to sensitize you, just to encourage people like you and other your students to explore the subject more in detail. Thirdly, Mr. Roy, I would be very happy if more and more questions come from the participants, because that will be a reflection that they are interested in the subject. They have some doubts. They have some queries about the subject. So kindly start putting your questions in the chat box. I'm requesting to all the participants. And Mr. Roy would facilitate. He will answer those questions after my session is over. And we will also make the town hall open so that anybody can just raise hand and ask the question directly as well. Mr. Roy has given me the topic financial empowerment through wealth creation. And Mr. Roy, it is a very technical thing you have given to me. But I will try to make this session as simple as I can. Okay. As if we are sitting in a drawing room in a hall and talking to each other. And I will try to discuss this subject in a most simplified manner. Money is very important in our life, Mr. Roy. You will appreciate that money is very, very important in our life. But it is a general statement. To be specific, I want to tell you, all of the participants, that money serves two purposes in our life. Specifically speaking, the first purpose, Mr. Roy, money serves is money gives us prosperity. And prosperity simply includes taking care of our basic needs, our comfort and luxury. All these encompasses that I should have money when I need it. This is basically prosperity, and this is also financial empowerment. That I should have money when I need it. This is financial empowerment. So money gives us prosperity, but Mr. Roy, money also gives us security. When Mr. Roy will have plenty of money in his bank account, he will feel secure. No, Baba, no, I have no problem. One day, Mr. Roy will have 100 crore in his bank account. Of course, he is smiling. But once he will have 100 crore in his bank account, he will feel secure that no problem. Now I have got plenty of money. If anything happens to me or my family, I will manage that issue with the money. But my dear Roy, you will appreciate me. You were smiling when I said that you have 100 crore in your bank account, because you know it very well that most of us will not have 100 crore in our bank account, at least through service. 100 crore is, of course, through business and some enterprises we can have 100 crore in our bank account, but not through service at least. So then how we can develop security for us? This is a very prime question for all of us. Particularly, Mr. Roy, those who are salary class, middle class persons. how we can have security in our life. Yes, my dear participants and my dear students, you can also note it down, because you may feel that why we have been forced to listen this session when we are not earning. You are right, but you are going to earn very soon. So this session is equally useful and important and imperative for you. So kindly be attentive during my session, and it might be useful for you as well. So do, Mr. Roy, do these three things in your life as early as you can when you start earning, to develop security in our life. The first thing, kindly note it down if you wish to note it down. Every earning person must have adequate life insurance cover. Every earning person must have adequate life insurance cover. Mr. Roy, what is the purpose of having life insurance cover in our life? You know it very well. Life is pretty uncertain. We are talking today, we may live for next 100 years, but tomorrow is pretty uncertain. What will happen tomorrow, we don't know. Anything can happen. So to overcome that uncertainty, or we have to take life insurance cover, that in case something happens to me and I am not available to my family because of death or permanent disability, I am not able to earn the money which I am earning today, then my family should not suffer financially. At least they should have reasonable, rather good amount on which they can not only take care of their monthly and regular expenses, but also take care of the other family obligation like education of children, purchase of house, and all other things which we can take. So that is why we should take adequate life insurance cover. And the adequate definition is, Mr. Roy, your life insurance cover should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. It should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. Suppose, Mr. Roy, your annual income is 20 lakhs. Then ideally speaking, you should have life insurance cover of not less than 2 crore rupees. I don't think you have taken life insurance cover of that order. Normally, we don't take, but we must take adequate life insurance cover. And nowadays, a very good insurance product is available in the market, which was not available at it in my times, but it is now available. That life insurance product name is, kindly note it down if you wish to note it down. It is called term insurance, TERM, term insurance. Mr. Roy, term insurance is a genuine insurance product where you can have a reasonable life insurance cover by paying a very small amount of premium monthly. If your age is between 25 to 30, you can have a life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees by paying a monthly premium of hardly 500 or 600 rupees, which anybody can afford and which anybody can pay. So we should have term insurance, life insurance cover. And here again, Dr. Roy, early you take, lesser will be the premium, because the premium of the life insurance cover is directly connected with your age. So kindly don't keep deferring the decision of taking adequate life insurance cover. Kindly take life insurance cover at the early stage of your life, and that will give you security not to you, but to your family. That in case I am not available to them, they will at least not have financial problems. That is the main purpose of having life insurance cover. Now, second the thing I want to request all of you is, kindly take adequate health insurance cover. Mr. Roy, life insurance cover is different and health insurance cover is different. Generally, people get confused when I have taken life insurance cover, why I should take health insurance cover. But my dear participants, the purpose of both life insurance cover and health insurance cover is totally different. Life insurance cover, Mr. Roy, we take that in case of non-availability of me to my family because of death or permanent disability, my family will get a good amount. But in health insurance cover, Mr. Roy, we take health insurance cover because in case of medical emergency, because of some accident or some discovery of some serious illness, all of a sudden, where we will go, Mr. Roy? We will be forced to go to the private hospitals, because government hospitals are not up to mark. So we will be forced to go to the private hospital. But there in private hospital, Mr. Roy, they charge exorbitantly. Their charges are too much. So if we are forced to go to because of medical emergency, we are forced to go to them, Naturally, we wouldn't be having any option but to go to the private hospital. But there, if we remain in the hospital, Mr. Roy, for 10-15 days, they may raise a bill of not less than 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs. From where that money will come if we don't have health insurance cover? But if we have health insurance cover, then all these expenses will be directly paid by the insurance company from whom we have taken health insurance cover to the hospital. We will not be required to pay a single penny. We will simply go to the best hospital, get the best treatment, get recovered, come home without paying anything. That is the purpose of having health insurance cover. And nowadays, Mr. Roy, a very good unique health insurance cover policy is available in the market, which is a unique in the sense it covers whole family members, all family members. And the name of the policy is Floater, Floater, Floater Health Insurance Cover. It is also called Umbrella Health Insurance Cover. The uniqueness of this health insurance cover, Mr. Roy, is that in one singular health insurance cover, not only you are covered, because since you have taken, you can also include the name of your spouse, your wife, or your husband. You can also include the name of your all children. And you can also include the name of your parents even, and even your in-laws. So in one singular policy, Mr. Roy, all family members are covered. And if any medical emergency arises with any of them, they can go to the best hospital, get the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. That is the purpose of health insurance cover. And here again, it should be adequate, Mr. Roy. If you are in metro city, then ideally your family should have health insurance cover of not less than 25 lakhs. But if you are in a 2-tier, 3-tier city like you, then you can have a health insurance cover of around 10 to 15 lakhs. That will be okay. So kindly take health insurance cover. And here again, Mr. Roy, early you take, lesser will be the premium. Because premium of the health insurance cover is directly related to your age. Third thing, Mr. Roy, I want to tell to all of you is, kindly develop an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs. Naturally, Mr. Roy, you will ask me why we should have emergency fund. My answer is very simple, Mr. Roy, that this pandemic has taught us a lot of lessons. And Mr. Roy, you are very lucky that your job continued during pandemic in the college. You continue to get the salary from the college, but at the same time, you are aware that lakhs of people had lost their job. Businesses were closed, professions were closed, and lakhs of people have passed through a very, very tough time, because they didn't have any income for months together. Their job was not there. How they survived, only they can explain the pain they have suffered during this pandemic. And Mr. Roy, this pandemic has still not gone. It is still there. Newer and newer viruses are coming. So in future also, if this pandemic may continue or some new disease may come, and we might lose job temporarily, or we might pass through a difficult time. That is why I am requesting all families must have an emergency fund of 5 to 7 lakhs. Why we should have? Because in case we lose our job temporarily, in case we pass through a tough time, at least I have this corpus, this fund to manage my monthly expenses for 1 year. That is the purpose of developing a emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs. And Mr. Roy, 5 to 7 lakh is not a small amount for all of us. We do appreciate it. It is a big amount. But we can develop this fund over a period of time, maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years, maybe 5 years. But once it is developed, we have to make a promise with ourselves that we will never use this emergency fund for any other purpose except for the emergency in our life. That commitment and promise we have to make with ourselves. So, Mr. Roy, I have enumerated 3 things, I again repeat, which will give us security. Number 1, adequate life insurance cover, adequate health insurance cover, and an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakh with each family. This will give us security, but it will not give us prosperity. Prosperity is a different ball game altogether. Now we will talk about the prosperity. because we have first developed security for ourselves and for our family. Mr. Roy, can you tell me what is the main source of money for all of us, those who are service class people? What is the main source of money? Main source of money is our salary, which we get from the college. Am I right?
Yes.
This is our main source of money. So what we do with the money, salary we get, a majority of our salary goes into taking care of our monthly expenses, regular expenses, grocery, rental, travel, education of the children, a lot of other things we take care through our monthly salary. But Mr. Roy, we Indians have a unique habit. You might have observed your parents, if you have observed your parents closely, you might have observed that we all Indians have a unique habit of not spending all the money which we earn. We sincerely try to take away some money out of our income. We sincerely try. Even a person who is earning 10,000 rupees will sincerely try to take away 500, 700 or 1,000 rupees out of their. Of course, it will be difficult, but they sincerely try. And the money which we don't spend out of our salary or income, what we call it, Mr. Roy, it is called savings. It is called savings. So we all save. We are all savers. We do save the money. Every family, every Indian try to save the money as much as they can. Yes, so we are all savers. But one thing lacks with most of us, Mr. Roy. I don't know whether you have observed it or not. We do save, but we are very casual about the saving. Casual in the sense that this year, this month, Mr. Roy might have saved 10,000. Next year, it might be 5,000. Third year, it might be 2,000. And again, a fourth month, it might be even 12,000. So we are not regular in saving. We are casual about saving. But I want to request all of you, my dear participants, very important thing I am requesting you. Kindly identify an amount of saving which you can comfortably make out of your salary. And Mr. Roy, I am not prescribing anything that you should save 20%, 30%, 40%. It depends on upon your obligation or family structure. But what I am saying is, kindly identify an amount. Suppose you say that your salary is 50,000 and your expenses are around 40,000. Then what you are indirectly saying is that you can save 10,000. Then my request is very simple but emphatic. Kindly save this 10,000 upfront when you get the salary. Take away this amount from your salary, as if you have not got it, as if you have got only 40,000. That discipline has to be developed. Mr. Roy, I know it is a tough task, but it is not an impossible task. Tough task, of course, but it can be done and it has to be done because it is a precondition for your prosperity. Kindly mind it. So kindly, we have to do it. So kindly identify an amount and then religiously save that amount every month, come what may. This promise you have to make with yourself. Come what may, I will save this amount every month without fail. This is the first request I want to make you. Second request about saving is, kindly keep increasing your saving every year minimum by 10%, Mr. Roy. How it is possible? You know it is possible because we get increment, we get increase in salary, we get DNS allowance, some other allowances, we also get promotion in between. So our income keep increasing every year. So with the increase in income, Mr. Roy, we must increase your saving also every year. And it should be minimum 10%. Suppose this year you are saving, Mr. Roy, 10,000 a month. Then next year it must be 11,000 a month. And third year it should be 12,100. Again, it is not an easy task, I do appreciate, but at the same time it is not impossible. But my dear participants, we have to get something big only by sacrifices. Very clear. It is should be very clear to all of you. So if we want to make it big in our life, if we want to prosper, we have to do this practice that we will save a particular amount every month and then keep increasing our saving minimum by 10% every year. Mr. Roy, if you do these two small practices in your life, I can promise all the participants with confidence, that there will be least financial problem in your life. There will be least financial, there might be some problem, but there will be least financial problem in your life. So kindly understand the importance of regular saving and then increasing your saving every year minimum by 10%. Two things I want to request with regard to saving. Now we go ahead. Then the next question arises, what we do with the savings which we are doing every month? What we do? There are two options, Mr. Roy. One option is, I am saving this amount every month, but what foolishly I am doing, I am taking that account from my bank account where I get my salary, counting the money and putting at home every month, or just leaving that amount in the bank account. I want to request and warn all the participants, kindly never do this, because it is not going to make you prosper. Rather, it is better not to save them and enjoy your money as you are getting. Then naturally you will ask me then what to do. Yes, there is a other way for it, Mr. Roy, and the way is number one, kindly put your savings into, Mr. Roy, acquisition of some assets, value of which will increase in future. Acquisition of some assets, value which will increase in future. And number two, put your savings into some financial instrument which will give you return or income periodically and regularly. And Mr. Roy, the putting of your saving into some assets or in some financial instrument, can you tell me what we call it? It is called investment. It is called investment. So kindly understand very clearly that first we have to be saver, and at the second stage we have to be investor. Because prosperity will come not through savings only, but putting your saving into investment mode, only then prosperity comes. So saving is the first step, investment is the second step of your prosperity. They are supplement to each other, they are complement to each other for your prosperity. So kindly be an investor. Invest your money which you are saving every month. Then you will say, okay, sir, whoever is earning will investing, you are putting your money in one or other form in somewhere. Definitely, we all are doing it. Even your student, they should understand when they start earning, they will also put their money into some instrument. Yes. But unfortunately, Mr. Roy, I don't know whether you will agree with me or me. Despite our sincere efforts in savings and investment, most of the middle class, salary class person like you and me just remain money accumulators in their life. They don't become wealth creators. Kindly understand the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. I will make it easy by giving a very simple example. But most of us remain money accumulators, which is a pathetic state of affairs. Because my dear participants, you must understand and appreciate that prosperity will come only through wealth creation and not through money accumulation. Mind it very clearly. Then naturally, Mr. Roy, you will ask me what is the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. And for that, I will give just a very simple example. And in this example, again, I will take your name, Mr. Roy. And the example is very simple. Mr. Roy has got 1 lakh rupees. Suppose Mr. Roy has got 1 lakh rupees with him. And he goes for a 1-year bank FD, being bank fixed deposit. Why I am taking this example, Mr. Roy? Because even students are aware about bank FD. FD is a very common feature for middle class, salary class person. We all do FD with banks, fixed deposit FD. Suppose you go with a bank FD for 1 year. And Mr. Roy, the present rate of interest is around 6%. You must be aware it is around 6%. So you go for a 1-year bank FD of 1 lakh rupees. After 1 year, when I meet you and just ask you, Mr. Roy, what happened to your FD? Mr. Roy would be very happy. But he says, I have earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income. And my money has been given back by the bank. And I am happy. Yes, you are. When I say, Mr. Roy, are you right? You will definitely ask me, sir, what is wrong with you asking this question? I am absolutely right. You can see my passbook. I have got a credit of 6,000 as bank interest income, plus 1 lakh rupees has been given back by the bank. Yes, Mr. Roy, you are right, but you are not right. You are right because you got 6,000 rupees. But you literally ignored two very important factors while analyzing return on your FD. FD is also an investment. How? What are the two factors? One factor, Mr. Roy, is inflation. We talk about inflation day in, day out. Even in a staff room, the hot discussion is on inflation only. Prices are increasing, or petrol, every other thing, even grocery items, prices are increasing. So what is inflation, Mr. Roy? Simply speaking, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. Am I right? Very simply speaking, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. Suppose, Mr. Roy, during your FD period of 1 year, suppose the inflation rate was 5%. What does it mean? It simply means that last year when you were going for bank FD, when you had got 1 lakh rupees, instead of going for bank FD, had you purchased some items or goods from 1 lakh rupees, would you be able to purchase same items, same goods, same services after 1 year at 1 lakh rupees? Would you be able to? No, it will not be possible. Because of inflation, prices have increased. And suppose the inflation has been 5%. What does it mean? It simply means that last year, whatever you could have purchased from 1 lakh rupees, for same item, same goods, after 1 year, Mr. Roy, you will need to pay not 1 lakh rupees, but 1,05,000 rupees. Am I right? Because inflation has been 5%. Now you see the proposition, you are very happy when you got 6,000 rupees, Mr. Roy. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 had been eaten by the inflation. Out of 6,000, 5,000 had been eaten by the inflation. But you are still happy. You say that I have still got 1,000 out of 6,000. Yes, Mr. Roy. But then one more factor is there which we normally ignore. What is that factor, Mr. Roy? Most of the income and return are taxable under income tax. You might be aware. Government takes income tax from most of the income, and including salary, we have to pay income tax. So in the case of bank FD, income tax rules are very clear, Mr. Roy, that whatever bank interest you earn or on your bank FD, you will be required to pay income tax as per your income tax slab. In which slab you are 20%, 10%, 30%, you will be required to pay income tax also. Suppose you are in 20% bracket, then on 6,000 which you earn as bank interest, Mr. Roy, you will need to pay 1,200 rupees, that is 20% of 6,000 as income tax. And Mr. Roy, in my time at least, people were not bothered. They were not paying income tax on such income. Let it be. Who will come from income tax department? But now, Mr. Roy, because of technology, all such information is directly available and automatically available with the income tax department. That Mr. Roy has got a FD of 1 lakh rupees and he had earned 6,000 rupees. And if you don't pay income tax, you might get a notice from the income tax department. Mr. Roy, you earned 6,000 rupees, you didn't pay income tax. Now you pay it with penalty also. So now you see the proposition, sir. You were very happy when you earned 6,000 as bank interest income. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. And 1,200 you have paid as income tax. Did anything remain with you? No. Rather, 200 rupees has gone out of your pocket. You got nothing. In reality, you got nothing. Notionally, you got 6,000. Understand it very carefully, Mr. Roy. Notionally, you got 6,000 rupees, of course. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation and 1,200 rupees you paid as income tax. So rather, you got nothing in reality. And when you don't get anything in reality, my dear Roy, you are sheer money accumulators. You are sheer money. You are accumulating money. Of course, you got 6,000. but it is sheer accumulation. It is not going to create wealth for you at all. I take this example forward, Mr. Roy. Suppose the interest rate on your bank FD is 8%. Suppose it. In that scenario, you will get 8,000 as bank interest income. Again, keeping inflation at 5%, out of 8,000, 5,000 will be eaten by the inflation. Again, remaining 3,000, out of that, you will need to pay 20% on income tax. That is 1,600 of 8,000. But even after that, Mr. Roy, there remains 1,400. And that 1,400 is your real income. That 1,400 is going to create wealth for you. So my dear participant, understand it clearly that on your all investment, you need to earn some real return. And if we don't get any real return, then we simply become wealth creators. And if we earn some real return, Mr. Roy, then we are creating wealth. Then we are on the right path of prosperity. The formula of real return is very simple. I kindly note it down. Those students, they want to note it down, simply note it down. Real return equal to notional return, that is 6,000 or 8,000, minus inflation, that is 5,000, minus tax liability, 1,200 or 1,600. In the first scenario, Mr. Roy, you got nothing. In the second scenario, you got 1,400 as real return. And I again want all of you to be a successful investor. You have to earn real return on your investments. And if you are not earning, then the purpose of saving and investment is defeated. Kindly mind it very carefully. So you have to earn some real return. Now the question arises, Mr. Roy, why we, most of us, are money accumulators only? Why we are so? We are intelligent, we are well-to-do, we know everything about the money as well. But still, why most of us are money accumulators? What is the reason? Yes, my dear Mr. Roy, reason is simple. Yes, reason is there. There is a reason, and reason is simple. Reason is most of the middle class, salary class person, Mr. Roy, don't want to take risk in your life. Arey Baba, no, we don't want to take any risk. When we talk about investment, people will, most of the participants will say, sir, tell us something about safe investment. We don't want to take any risk. This is our notion in back of our mind. This is very formally, this concept is there that we don't want to take risk. But my dear participants, and particularly young people like you, Mr. Roy, and your students, I want to tell you very bluntly that in most of the investment, risk is there, whether you accept it or not. In most of the investment, risk is there. So kindly forget about risk-free investment. Of course, there are few risk-free investments like government schemes, which we will discuss afterward. But most of the investment have got risk. And what is risk, Mr. Roy? Simply speaking, risk is nothing but a fear that I might lose some money, which I have invested somewhere, or there might be some reduction, or not getting any real return on my investment is also a risk. So kindly accept very honestly, particularly young people like you and your students, I want to tell all of you, kindly accept very honestly that in investment, risk is there. Yes, risk is there. Because once you accept, Mr. Roy, then there is a possibility that you will try to minimize your risk. Then there is a possibility that you will try to manage your risk. Yes, that can be done. Yes, that can be. You can manage your risk. You can minimize your risk, Mr. Roy, but you can't make your risk zero. Some degree of risk will always be there. Some moderate, high or low risk, but risk will be there. How we can manage our risk? How we can minimize our risk? I'm just sharing a very simple two-word formula to all of you. Kindly note it down if you want to note it down. Very simple formula. You might laugh at me, sir, what simple formula you are giving to us. But this formula is very, very important. And this is going to change your life forever, Mr. Roy. But Just writing formula on the notebook or paper will not do. This formula has to be put in your mind while taking investment decision. And formula is very simple. Note it down. Think, understand, and invest. Only two words I have used. Think, understand, and invest. The first word I have used, Mr. Roy, is think. What you have to think? You have to think two things about yourself. Students can note it down. You have to think two things about yourself, Mr. Roy. One is, what is your risk-taking capacity? What is your risk appetite? And Mr. Roy, every individual has got different risk appetite. Because our income is different, our family structure is different, our family obligations are different, our social structure is different. So every individual has got different risk appetite. Kindly mind it. And this can be done. This can be done by managing our risk. So we have to first appreciate what is my risk appetite. And Mr. Roy, you have got different risk appetite. Your friends have got different risk appetite. Even your brothers and sisters have got different risk appetite because your income is different. Your mindset is different. So kindly, strictly, and honestly analyze your risk appetite, how much risk you can take. This is the first request I want to make. Second is, we normally do invest, Mr. Roy, without taking into account that we will need money not in one go in our life, but at many intervals in our life. For many milestones, we will need money. You will not need money in once in your life, Mr. Roy. You will need money a lot of times in your life for a lot of milestones. So the time horizon of investment is also very important. Time horizon simply means that I should have money when I need it. Suppose, and for that, Mr. Roy, I am just sharing a very simple request I am making to all of you, particularly those who are already earning, like Mr. Roy, and even a student can understand. Mr. Roy, I want 1 hour of yours next Sunday. Would you give me? Next Sunday, I want 1 hour of yours. Would you give me, sir?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, don't worry. I'm not coming to your home. Don't worry.
Please come, sir.
What I am saying is, kindly request your all family members to be with you. Kindly request with all your family members to be with you. Have a notebook and paper and one pen. On the paper or notebook, make 3 columns. First column, second column, and third column. The first column, Mr. Roy, is jot down the milestones which are likely to happen in your life. What are the common milestones, Mr. Roy, in our life? The first milestone is marriage. Marriage is the first milestone. Am I right? Then second one is birth of the children, celebration, second milestone. Then admission of the children in a good public school might be third milestone. Then purchase or acquisition of a house for the family is again a next milestone. Then purchase of the 4-wheeler, every family wants now 4-wheeler, is also a milestone for all of us. Then Mr. Roy, vacation has also become a milestone for all of us, particularly young people like you. Every family wants to go on vacation. Your family will definitely force to go out of Tamil Nadu, go to Karnataka, go to Gujarat, go to Rajasthan, go to Maharashtra. And why within India, you definitely your family will like you to go beyond India also. So vacation has also become a very important milestone. And after some years, your children are grown up. Then what is the next milestone, Mr. Roy? Higher education and professional education of children is very important milestone in our life. For all middle class, salary class person, higher education higher education and professional education of children is a very important milestone. Then once their education is over, then what you will think, Mr. Roy? Getting them married. Marriage of the children is again a next milestone. And last milestone, Mr. Roy, is living your retirement life. That is again very important milestone. And I don't think, Mr. Roy, you have pension in your college, because now pension is no more available in any part of the country. Pension is not there. Even government has scrapped the concept of pension. So how we will survive after retirement? Because in that phase of life, we wouldn't be having regular income. We wouldn't be having salary. How to survive? So what we typically do for retirement life, we accumulate a lot of money. Then put that money into some investment mode, get some regular return, and we survive. This is the normal course of living in retirement life. So in the first column, Mr. Roy, put it your retirement, put it all thing you want, all your milestones. And I am giving you leverage, Mr. Roy. You want to add any milestone, you can add on. In the second column, against each milestone, Mr. Roy, start putting the period when it is likely to happen. Suppose, Mr. Roy, you are not married and you are likely to be married after 2 years. Put it 2 years against the marriage. Likewise, marriage, the birth of the children, 3.5 years or 4 years. Likewise, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, 35. Well, you start putting the period when the milestones are likely to happen in your life. Again, the idea only. Precisely, of course, we can't make it, but just now idea. Now, very important thing in the third column, Mr. Roy, is start putting the money which you will need for every milestone, for each milestone. Suppose marriage, you say that you are not married and you are likely to be married after 2 years. Most of the expenses will be taken care of by your parents, but still honeymoon package will be purchased by you only. So for that, you will need minimum 5 lakhs. So put it 5 lakhs against marriage. Likewise, you start putting the money which you will need against each milestone. 2 important milestones I want to discuss with all of you. Very important milestone, Mr. Roy. One, for the first milestone, one important milestone is higher education and professional education of children. Mr. Roy, presently a good MBA degree costs around 20 lakhs from a good MBA institute. Am I right? Around 20 lakhs for 2-year MBA degree. But Mr. Roy, when your children will go for higher education after 20-25 years, can you imagine how much you will need for higher education of each children? The MBA degree, which is costing around 20 lakhs today, Mr. Roy, will cost not less than 2 crore rupees after 20-25 years because of inflation. So suppose you have got two children, how much you will need for their education? Not less than 4 crore rupees only for their higher education. Then again, marriage, not less than 1 crore. Then for retirement life, Mr. Roy, suppose your age is 30 today and you say my monthly expenses are around 30,000. Just you say you are managing your affairs with 30,000. After 30 years, when you become 60, can you imagine how much money you will need every month to survive yourself on the same standard of living? My dear Roy, because of inflation, you will need not less than 2 lakh rupees per month. You are managing your affairs with 30,000 today. When you are 30 today, after 30 years, when you become 60, you will need not less than 2 lakh rupees per month when you retire. So how much money you will need every year? Not less than 24 lakhs. So 2 lakhs multiplied by 12. It will be around 24-25 lakhs. From where that money will come? Because we will have only income of getting some investment return or interest. So how much we should accumulate for retirement life? I am just sharing a very thumb rule to all of you. Kindly note it down. Very thumb rule is there. And thumb rule is your retirement corpus should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. I again repeat, your retirement corpus should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. Suppose your annual expenses at that time we just discussed, Mr. Roy, will be around 25 lakhs. Multiply it by 20. How much it becomes? 5 crore. 5 crore rupees you will have to develop as a retirement corpus only. So put it 5 crore again retirement life. Now I want to make you scary. Make the total of the last column. Mr. Roy, you might get scary. for a normal middle class, salary class person like you, who is around 30 today, will need not less than 10 to 12 crore rupees for their milestones only. I have excluded that monthly expenses from 30 to 60 year, my dear friends. That I have excluded. Only for the milestone, you will need not less than 10 to 12 crore rupees. From where that money will come, Mr. Roy? Mr. Roy might be very lucky going to some big TV show, winning 7 crore rupees or 10 crore rupees. But then how many of us will win? 1 out of 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 50 lakhs. What about all of us? Yes, we can also have that much of money. This confidence now I want to give you, all of you. You all can have that much of money, my dear friends, provided you start working right from today about your savings and investment very, very sincerely. You have to be very sincere about yours. You should save as much as you can. And you should invest your savings into the best return giving investment of products. That is a must. And then you all can have 10 to 12 crore in your life. I can assure you, I will not be there with you after 20, 30 years, Mr. Roy, but you will remember me minded. Provided you start working right from day about your savings and investments. And the chart which we have just prepared, Mr. Roy, first column, second column, and third column, what it is called? It is called financial plan. It is called financial plan. And I am of the view, Mr. Roy, very firm view, that all normal middle class, salary class person must have family financial plan. Your family must have a financial plan. And Mr. Roy, financial plan is not a rocket science. Damn easy thing, very simple thing. We have just you sit with your family, draw your financial plan, and then make it a point that you work hard to achieve those money which you want to have at that particular time. So financial plan will give you a direction to save and invest. So I will request all of you kindly to have financial plan of your family. Now, second word I have used, Mr. Roy, about word was think, understand. Second word was understand. We have to understand the product where we are investing. Before taking any investment decision, we have to be very particular where we are investing. What is the risk in the product? Whether the risk in the product broadly matches with my risk appetite. Mr. Roy, some products are very good. Some products are very good, but they might have higher risk and I can't take high risk. So product is not good for me. Likewise, you are very aggressive. You want to have high risk products because you have time horizon of your time. Then if you invest in a conservative product, it will not be a wise decision. So we have to look at the product where we are investing, what is their risk profile, and when the product will start giving. One more thing I want to tell you here to all of the participants, Mr. Roy, that is rule of compounding. Mr. Roy, rule of compounding is 8th wonder of the world. It is 8th wonder of the world. Kindly mind it, kindly understand it very carefully.
True, sir.
And those who have understood the art of compounding in investment are successful investors, I can say that. And what is rule of compounding? Simply speaking, Mr. Roy, very simply speaking, you have to make a promise with yourself. You have to make a discipline with yourself that whatever and whenever I will get any return or income on my investment, I will never use that return or income for my personal consumption, for my family obligation. What I will do, I will simply club that return or income with my regular investment and invest. So you have to reinvest your income or return all the time. And it is not easy because temptation will always be there. When you get something, definitely temptation will be there. You will have a lot of desires from you in your mind, or your family will keep telling you to do this or do that thing. But you have to be strict. You have to develop a discipline that I will never use this return or income on my investment for my personal consumption. I will simply reinvest it. And Mr. Roy, if you do it, I can promise all of you down the line after 15, 20 years, you will be happily surprised that your return portion has become much, much greater than your original investment. But Mr. Roy, it will not happen today. It will not happen tomorrow. It will take time. That is why investment requires your patience. It is not a one-day job. It is not a two-day job. It is a long-drawn battle. You have to fight it out for a longer period. So kindly follow the rule of compounding. So, Mr. Roy, just to recapitulate what we have discussed so far, apart from security, three things we discussed: life insurance cover, health insurance cover, and then emergency fund. Then we discussed importance of regular saving. Then we discussed increasing saving every year minimum by 10%. Then we discussed putting our savings into investment. Then we discussed analyzing and appreciating the concept of risk in the investment. Then we discussed how to manage our risk in the investment. Think, understand, and invest. Think, understand, and invest. And then lastly, we discussed about the financial plan for the family. And just we discussed rule of compounding. The importance of rule of compounding is immense in our investment decision. So now, very shortly, we will discuss, Mr. Roy, what are the investment products available for all of us? Because that is equally important. We must know what are the products available for investment for the middle class, salary class person. And the first and foremost investment product available for all of us, Mr. Roy, is governmental small saving schemes. Government do have some small saving scheme for all of us. I will very briefly discuss a few schemes for all of you. The first and foremost governmental saving scheme is, Mr. Roy, Public Provident Fund Account, PPF. And if you have not opened this account so far, Mr. Roy, you have missed something. Kindly open the PPF immediately in next 1 month. It is a very good product of the government of India. Very good product. You can open the PPF account in any bank or where you have your bank account, or in post office. The account will be opened, Mr. Roy, for 15 years. Minimum amount you can deposit every year, Mr. Roy, is 500 rupees. And maximum amount you can deposit in this scheme is 1.50 lakhs. Presently, the rate of interest in this scheme, Mr. Roy, is 7.1%, which is compounding every year. And I will again request all of you, even students should understand when they start earning, they should open a PPF account in the first year itself. And Mr. Roy, you should have PPF account not for yourself, but for your spouse as well. You can have a separate account. So PPF account is a very good account of the government of India. It is for 15 years, but Mr. Roy, it is extendable beyond 15 years for 5 years, 5 years, and 5 years. So you should not close that account after 15 years. You should continue it for next 5 years, next 5 years, next 5 years. And two very small thing I want to tell you about PPF deposit. If possible, kindly deposit PPF amount of 1.50 lakhs in the first week of April itself, in the new financial year, because that will give you interest for the whole year. But if not possible for you, then whenever you deposit the amount, please always deposit the amount before 5th in every month. Because if you deposit the amount after 5th, Mr. Roy, you will not get interest for that month. And these are very small things, but very important things. So kindly understand, PPF is a very good account, and every middle class, salary class person should have PPF account. And if you have more than 2 adults in your family, all should have PPF account. And income tax exemption is also allowed under Section 80C. Now after that, Next scheme of Government of India is National Saving Certificate, NSC. It is I don't have time, so I would not give the details, but you can note down the scheme name. You can explore the details from websites. National Saving Certificate. Then third one is Kisan Vikas Patra. Kisan Vikas Patra. Then fourth one is RBI floating rate bonds. RBI floating rate bonds. Then fifth one is government securities. Mr. Roy, now you can invest directly into government securities. It was not very easy earlier, but from December 2021 onwards, Mr. Roy, RBI has started a new portal which name is RBI Retail Direct. RBI Retail Direct. You can visit the website of RBI Direct, understand that, then you can regularly invest in those schemes. Then RBI also keep issuing taxable and tax-free bonds regularly to the public. Then government has also started a new channel for that for public sector undertakings. That name is Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. These are all governmental schemes, Mr. Roy. And the uniqueness of these schemes are there is no risk at all. Whatever government is promising you, government will give you. When a scheme matures, you will get the money which has been accumulated over a period of time. And I personally feel, Mr. Roy, a normal middle class, salary class person should invest around 15 to 20% of their investment into gold, into governmental schemes, comprising all these schemes. The uniqueness of these schemes is there is no risk. But now the chapter ends here as far as risk is concerned. All other option, risk is there, kindly minded, sir. All other option, now risk is there. Second option where we can invest is, Mr. Roy, is property or real estate, where we can invest. But risk is there. How much return you will get? Not certain. Would you be able to sell the property when you need it? Not certain. Then for real estate, Mr. Roy, you will need huge amount to invest. You can't invest in real estate by 5 lakh or 10 lakhs. You will need 50 lakhs, 70 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crore. Only then you can invest. Then next option is gold, where we can invest. And Mr. Roy, when I start talking about the gold, my female participant, I couldn't see any female participant is here. But my female participant have got a different smile on their faces. Gold, no problem at all. We Indians have it. We middle class, salary class female members have a special fascination about the gold. No gold, no problem. As much gold we can have. So, but for gold also, earlier we were investing in gold, Mr. Roy, only through in physical form, purchasing jewelry, purchasing gold biscuits. But now time has changed. You can invest in gold in digital form as well. No physical gold will be given to you. And for that, Mr. Roy, note it down. A very good Government of India scheme is on nowadays. No private scheme, Government of India scheme is on. That name is Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme, where government is inviting you to invest. Minimum amount is 1 gram gold price. Maximum amount individual can invest is 4 kg gold. The scheme is for 8 years. And government has promised to give you 2 benefits in this scheme. One is 2.5% annual return on your investment, guaranteed 2.5%. Additionally, apart from it, government will also share you the appreciation in the gold price. Suppose today you invest and the gold price is 50,000. After 8 years, because the scheme is for 8 years, after 8 years, the gold price is 80,000. Then government will also give you the appreciation price of 30,000 in gold price. So 2 benefits are there. One is 2.5% guaranteed interest plus appreciation in the gold price. The scheme is for 8 years. And if you continue with the scheme for 8 years, then the tax liability will be literally very minimum. Very minimum tax liability. And you can invest, Mr. Roy, in this scheme in through online and offline, both the modes are available. And government is encouraging online mode. And government will give you encouragement of 50%, 50 rupee discount if you invest online. So that is the additional benefit you will get. So it is a very good scheme of the government of India. And apart from that, ETF gold funds, exchange traded gold funds are there. Then mutual funds have also got a lot of gold funds. And then digital funds, gold funds are also available. So you can invest in gold. And Mr. Roy, I personally feel that a normal middle class, salary class person should invest around 5 to 7% of their total investment into gold. Because gold, we all know, is a safety valve for all of us. We treat gold as a safety valve. Now, the last, third and fourth and last option we have, Mr. Roy, in investment is share market, securities market, where we can invest. But when I start talking about the security market, there might be 2-3 messages in the chat box. I said, don't talk about the share market. How we don't know how market goes up, how market goes down. It is pure speculation. People like you might have invested some money on the advice of others, and if you have lost that money, then you are very clear. No, sir, I will never invest in security market. There are a lot of people like this. Yes, I do appreciate their concern, because, my dear participant, you must understand that security market is a purely knowledge-based market. It is purely a knowledge-based market, my dear Roy. Those who don't have knowledge of the market must not invest into the market directly. This is my humble request or advice to all of you. So if you want to invest into the security market directly, first acquire knowledge, thorough knowledge of the market, only then think of investing into the direct market. Mr. Roy, there are two options in direct investment in security market. One is primary market and other one is secondary market. I don't have time, but next time if you feel a need, we can have a technical session on security market for all your students. How market function, what is primary market, what is secondary market, what is SEBI, what is NSCBA, all these things we can discuss in detail next time, because I don't have time. But there is an indirect way of investing into security market, my dear participant. That is called mutual fund. I just want to give just 5-10 minutes. I will cover mutual fund, then I will finish it off. Mr. Roy, mutual fund is indirect way of investing into the security market. But one thing you should understand, to all participants, normally people have a perception that mutual fund is security market only. No, my dear friends. Mutual fund is beyond security market as well. Because, Mr. Roy, mutual fund has got schemes which will invest your money into government securities. Mutual fund will have schemes where you can invest your money in properties and real estate. In mutual fund, there are schemes, Mr. Roy, where your money will be invested into gold. And in mutual fund, Mr. Roy, there are schemes which will invest your money into international corporates. Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft. These are big names. And if you want to invest into the equity of those companies, you can, because mutual fund have got international funds where your money will be invested into international corporate. But truly speaking, majority of the mutual fund schemes relate to security market only. The uniqueness of mutual fund schemes, Mr. Roy, is that in mutual fund schemes are available those who don't want to take any risk. In mutual fund schemes are available for those who want to take low risk. In mutual fund schemes are available those who want to take mediocre risk. And in mutual fund schemes are available, my dear friends, who want to take high risk. So all categories of risk-taking investors, different mutual fund schemes are available. Likewise, Mr. Roy, In mutual fund, schemes are available which will earn money return for you even for a single day. If you want to invest for a even single day, then overnight funds are there. If you want to invest for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, then liquid funds are available or ultra short-term funds are available. If you want to invest for 6 months, 1 year, other schemes are available. If you want to invest for more than 1 year, 5 years, 3 years, 10 years, other schemes are available. So for all categories of investors, as per their risk appetite, and for all categories of investors, as per their time horizon of investment, mutual fund schemes are available. In mutual fund, there are 3 broad categories of schemes, my dear participant, you must understand. First is equity funds. Mr. Roy, in equity funds, your money will be invested into the equity share of the corporates. Mind it very clearly. And when you invest into the equity fund, you be very clear that you are taking high risk, because equity share of the share of the corporate keep going up and down according to a lot of other factors, depending upon a lot of other factors. So those who want to take risk and want to invest for longer period of more than 5 years, Mr. Roy, then equity fund is a better proposition for you. And people like you, Mr. Roy, who are young, those who have longer horizon of 25, 30, 35 years, equity fund is a better proposition for all of you. Then second category in mutual fund, Mr. Roy, is debt fund, DEBT debt fund. In debt fund, Mr. Roy, your money will be given as a loan to the corporate. Understand the difference. In equity fund, your money will be invested into the equity share of the corporate, where risk is high and you have to be a long-term investor. But in debt fund, your money will not be invested into the equity fund. Your money will be given as a loan to the corporate. And when a money is given to the corporate, loan to the corporate, Mr. Roy, the risk is lesser, relatively lesser, but the return can also be reasonable. So it is your choice. If you want to go for high return, equity funds are there. If you are satisfied with the reasonable return, debt funds are there. And the third category is also there, which is called hybrid funds. In hybrid fund, Mr. Roy, some portion of your money will be invested into the equity share of the corporates, and remaining portion will be invested into the debt fund. So in hybrid fund, you are not only aspiring for return, some return, but at the same time, you are managing your risk. So those who are smart enough, those who don't want to take much risk, but try to balance the risk, hybrid fund is the better category. So it is up to you to decide in which category you want to invest as per your risk appetite and as per your time horizon of investment. Now, in mutual fund, there are 2 plans through which you can make investment. One plan is direct plan, other one is regular plan. In direct plan, Mr. Roy, you will need to visit the website of the mutual fund company, which is technically called AMC. Select the scheme online, give the information online, and you are invested. In direct plan, there is no third party, you and the second party is your AMC of the mutual fund. And in direct plan, my dear participant, return will always be higher because there is no third party. The other option is regular plan, Mr. Roy. And in regular plan, you will need to take services of the mutual fund agent, which are technically called distributor. They will come to you, they will help you out in filling the form, they will take document from you, they will take bank check from you, then they will deposit your money or application with the mutual fund company, and then you will be get invested. But for those services, they will definitely get some commission or fees, and that commission or fee will go out of your return or investment. So in regular plan, mind it, my dear friends, your return will always be lesser as compared to direct plan. So it is up to you to decide which option you want to take. And one magic is there, Mr. Roy, for the middle class. And now a very important thing I am telling to all of you. One magic is there in the mutual fund for the middle class, salary class person. And that magic, Mr. Roy, is systematic investment plan, SIP. SIP is the magic for middle class, salary class person, in which we invest regularly some very small amount, maybe 100 rupees a month. And there is no limit of upper limit. So you can start investing 100 rupees a month, every month or every fortnight. You can buy sovereign gold bond through your bank or through post office, and online facility is also available. So SIP is the magic for middle class, salary class person, Mr. Roy. In SIP, we are investing a particular identified regular amount every month regularly. Minimum amount you can do is 10 or 100 rupees a month, and maximum there is no limit. And how SIP is a magic, Mr. Roy, I just want to give you a very simple and factual example. But Mr. Roy, I will not share the name of the scheme or name of the mutual fund company, because that will be unfair on my part. That will be indirect advertisement of that. But facts are there. Understand the facts very carefully, Mr. Roy. One mutual fund company started an equity fund in 1995. Understand, please, Mr. Roy. All participants should note down the date very carefully. Sana Sheikh, you also noted down very carefully. One SIP was started by a mutual fund company in 1995. And a small investor like Mr. Roy started an SIP of 10,000 rupees per month in that scheme. What does it mean? Every month, Mr. Roy is investing 10,000 rupees per month in that equity scheme right from 1995. Mr. Roy, can you imagine how much money has become today? Can you imagine, Mr. Roy? I again repeat, 10,000 rupees per month investment through SIP in equity fund from 1995 onwards. The corpus today has become, Mr. Roy, is 9.57 crore. 9.57 crore. That's the magic of SIP. You start investing a small amount, and then with the increase in income, you can increase the SIP amount as well. That top-up facility is also available, and over a period of time, you can have a very good amount in your kitty. But that is a long-drawn battle. What I tell you, 15-20 years, if you continue with the SIP, you will have good amount with you. But one thing, Mr. Roy, typically what happens, people start SIP when market goes up, and people stop their SIP when market goes down. Normally it happens. People are crazy about when market goes up. When market goes down, they get scary. Oh, I might suffer a loss. They stop the SIP. But my advice to them is very simple, Mr. Roy. Start SIP for the long period and never stop SIP during intervening period. Have a target. Now I have got a lot of friends who have got target of more than one SIP. People are having more than one SIP. That is target oriented. One SIP, Mr. Roy, for going on vacation after 5 years. Other SIP for higher education of children for after 25 years. Third SIP for marriage of the children. And fourth SIP for retirement plan. So you can have more than one SIP. And you can top it up when your income increases. So SIP is a magic for the middle class, salary class person, Mr. Roy. You should think about starting an SIP, but not so. Don't be in great hurry. Understand the investment philosophy of mutual fund and SIP. Then you can start SIP. That one more unique feature in mutual fund is available, Mr. Roy, that is called SWP. Shri sir, SWP is opposite of SIP. Shri Gawali sir, SWP is opposite of SIP. In SWP, we withdraw some money. We withdraw some money every month. And that is means, Shri sir, when you get retired, when you don't have any income, how we will survive. So SWP, that is systematic withdrawal plan, can be handy for all of you. But for that, Mr. Roy, you will have to develop a good retirement corpus right from today. Suppose you have developed 5 crore retirement corpus because you are very smart. You started investing early. Now you are going to retire. You have got 5 crore rupees, but you don't have pension. You can, Shri Gawali sir, you can simply write to the mutual fund company that from next month onward, keep transferring a particular amount, whatever it may be, 1 lakh, it may be 2 lakh, it may be 3 lakh. It depends upon you. Please keep transferring this amount from my corpus to my bank account on first every month. And they will do. They will do. For the first benefit will be, Shri sir, you will have an amount on which you can survive and enjoy your retirement life as well without any tension, because you wouldn't be having regular salary. Second benefit will be your remaining corpus there will continue to earn a return for you, and that will beat your inflation for future. So SWP is a better proposition for your retirement life. But for that, Gawali sir, you have to develop a huge corpus. That is a precondition. That is a precondition that you should develop a good corpus. I can continue for another 1 hour on mutual fund, Mr. Roy, but I know time constant is there. So I am putting a halt to it. Last 2 things I want to tell all the participants, Mr. Roy, and throw you to all the participants. Mr. Gawali sir, there is a meanness in our country. You might have observed that meanness, that disease I call it. And that is called Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. Mr. Roy, people come to you, will promising you 15%, 20% return, will promise you to double your money in 3-4 years. But my dear participant, it will never happen. They will simply vanish with your money. Mind it, sir. Across country, Gawali sir, more than 10 lakhs crores of rupees of gullible investors have been lost in such bogus schemes. And I know Mr. Roy and Gawali sir and all your senior person, they will not invest in such a scheme. I appreciate it very carefully because, sir, you are educated. But Mr. Roy, are you aware normally who invests in those schemes? Not you, but your peon, your driver, your taxi driver, your milk vendor, your grocery shop owner, your peon, your electrician, your plumber. They normally invest in those schemes, Gawali sir, with the temptation of getting higher return, which will never fructify. So, Mr. Roy and Gawali sir, I will request, and Sarvanand sir, I will request all of you, kindly start a campaign through your students in your area. Make people aware as much as people you can that they should never invest their hard-earned money in such bogus or Ponzi schemes. If they don't have any idea, Gawali sir, they should simply keep their money in post office or bank. At least their money will be safe. They will not lose their money. So it is your social responsibility. So kindly start a campaign, Mr. Roy. And last thing I want to tell Mr. Roy, since I have taken 100 times your name, Mr. Roy, last time I want to take it. Through you, I want to tell all the participants. I want to tell something very important to all of you. Prosperity is my right. Mr. Roy, this you are saying, I am not saying. You are saying, each participant is saying, prosperity is my right. I might have born into a poor family. It might be incidentally, it might have happened that I might have born Gawali sir into a poor family. That is not a curse. But living as poor and die as a poor is a curse. And we can remove that curse only by simply by taking care of our money prudently, wisely, saving money as much as we can right from the day we start earning, then managing our money through best investment, earning real return, creating wealth, and we can be prosper. So we all can be prosper. I again urge all of you. I again promise all of you, all students, I can promise, you can all be prosper, but some preconditions are required. You have to be very sincere about your money right from the day when you start earning. You have to save as much as you can, and you should invest your money prudently. And the sole purpose of investment should be that you should earn maximum real return on your investment and creating wealth. Thank you very much, Mr. Roy. Thank you very much, Gawali sir, Sarvanan sir. I am very much thankful to all of you for giving me opportunity. Now, first I will like Mr. Sabjar, kindly unmute Mr. Gawali sir and Narayanan sir. And I want their observation about the session. Then we can take the question answer session.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Kindly unmute Mr. Gawali.
Sir, please unmute your audio option, sir.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello. I am audible, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, sir. I am a retired professor.
Great, sir.
And I am very carefully listen today's webinar. I firstly congratulate the resource person are given full knowledge about the saving and investment and the difference between saving, investment, and prosperity. So I'm very proud of you on my behalf of my institutions also, and you are given to the young generation the financial plan to each and every member and the students also. I again congratulate sir your thoughts and given the guidance to each and every participant.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for joining. Thank you, sir, for joining. Dr. P. Dr. P. Narayanan. Dr. P. Narayanan. Yes, sir. P. Saravanan. Mr. Sabjar, kindly unmute him. Yes, sir. Kindly unmute yourself. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hi, sir. Sir, very good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
The session was very excellent, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Head of the Department of BCom CA.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Namaskar.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Now, any question from any participant? They can just directly raise their hand. We will take them, take their questions. Yes. Any question from any participant? Mr. Roy?
Sir,
Yes, Mr. Roy.
from my side, the program was financial how to become a wealth, so useful to the students as well as faculty members also and outside the participants all throughout the India. Thank you so much for being with us for past 1.5 hours, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all of you for giving me opportunity. We will continue to have this relationship for other similar programs in future as well.
We are also looking forward.
Yeah. I on my behalf have
students are sitting in the hall.
Okay, okay, great. I on my behalf and on behalf of Amfi, I am thankful to all of you for organizing this program, giving me opportunity. I am also thankful to all team members, Mr. Roy and all team members for organizing this program. Special thanks to Mr. Sabjar Ahmed for taking this out.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sabjar.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Keshav Mani Sharma ji is also there. Mr. Sabjar, kindly unmute him if he wants to speak or give his observation about the session.
Dr. Keshav Mani, sir, please.
सर जय श्री महाकाल।
जय श्री महाकाल। सर महाकाल हम आना चाहते हैं, आपके दरबार में आए, जरूर आएंगे हम बहुत जल्दी।
बिल्कुल पधारे सर, महाकाल की पावन धरा से आपको सत सत प्रणाम है।
एक बार आप दोबारा अपना नंबर या चैट बॉक्स में डाल दीजिए, सब्जार अहमद आपके नंबर ले लेंगे।
जी जी सर, बहुत अच्छा आपका प्रेजेंटेशन रहता है सर, लंबा अनुभव है आपके पास। और मैं भी कहीं अभी 2-4 दिन पहले देखा था, 95 में 5,000 रुपया इन्वेस्ट किया था, लंबे समय से उसका रिटर्न नहीं देख पाया था। अभी पता चला है कि वो केवल 5,000 रुपया जो 95 में म्यूचुअल फंड में लगाया था, वो अभी करीब 4,05,000 रुपया करीब हो गया है सर।
देखिए सर, अब आप खुद देख सकते हैं कि ये मैजिक लंबे समय में काम करेगा, छोटे समय में काम नहीं करेगा। That I always keep telling young people that magic will work only for the longer period. It is not a short time game. It is a long term. And those who have time on their plus, Sharma Sahab, we don't have time on our side, very honestly speaking.
Sir.
But young people have time on their plus side. They can go invest for 10, 30 years, 25 years. So it will be a magic. और एक बात और मैं यहाँ सबको कह देना चाहता हूँ, आई डोंट नो वेदर शर्मा साहब विल एग्री विथ मी और नॉट। सर, आई ऑलवेज टेल इन माय सेशन, नेक्स्ट 25 years आर गोइंग टू बी गोल्डन पीरियड फॉर इंडियन इकोनॉमी।
जी जी जी।
एंड दोज हु इन्वेस्ट एंड कंटिन्यू टू इन्वेस्ट फॉर दोज पीरियड विल बी प्रॉस्पर्ड लाइक एनीथिंग।
एक निवेदन कुछ ऐसा है जो पूरा नहीं हो पाएगा संभवतया, क्योंकि आपकी नीतियां उसके अनुकूल नहीं रहती है। वो किसी भी म्यूचुअल फंड का एक एडवर्टाइजमेंट हो जाता है। हमारे जो नौजवान, जी सर, नौजवान लोग हैं, उनको ये नहीं पता है कि कहाँ पर हम इन्वेस्ट करें। कई बार ऐसी जगह पर इन्वेस्ट कर देते हैं वो लोग, 2 गुना 4 गुना के चक्कर में, तो मूलधन भी उनका वापस चला जाता है।
यस सर।
क्या हम ये जान पाएंगे कभी फ्यूचर में या पर्सनली कि कहाँ पर उसे सही तरीके से इन्वेस्ट किया जा सके?
आप ऐसा कीजिए, आप अपना मोबाइल नंबर यहाँ इसमें डाल दीजिए अपना। हम पर्सनली बात करेंगे। 1-to-1 we can discuss at personal level, but not publicly. You will appreciate publicly, it can't be.
सर, तो धन्यवाद है आपको और शुभकामनाएं है। भगवान महाकाल आपको निरंतर और लगातार भारत वासियों को ही नहीं, पूरे विश्व के लोगों को इस मामले में प्रेरित करने के लिए आशीर्वाद देता रहे। और जब भी आप उज्जैन पधारे, मैं नंबर डाल रहा हूँ, आप निश्चित रूप से मुझे एक कॉल कीजिएगा। मैं आपका हार्दिक अभिनंदन और स्वागत तहे दिल से अभी भी करता हूँ, और बाद में भी करता रहूंगा सर।
मुझे व्यक्तिगत तौर पर अच्छा लगेगा, मैं आपसे मिलूंगा। और एक बड़ा प्रोग्राम हम इंदौर में करना चाहते हैं, देखिए बड़े इंस्टीट्यूशन में आपका सहयोग से, किसी बड़े यूनिवर्सिटी में या किसी बड़े में हम एक बड़ा प्रोग्राम करना चाहते हैं।
जी हाँ, इंदौर भी और उज्जैन विक्रम विश्वविद्यालय है,
बिल्कुल जहां आप कहेंगे, जो जैसी आपकी सुविधा होगी हम करेंगे और म्यूचुअली जरूर करेंगे। अब अपना बस नंबर डाल दीजिए इसमें, हम आपके संपर्क में रहें। धन्यवाद जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू वेरी मच। थैंक यू। एंड मिस्टर रॉय, any other question from any participant or we should wind up?
Sir, yes, sir, we can wind up, sir.